I went to the range today with a new build I did, Glock 43x. I built it off of an SCT frame. The parts list was it was all OEM internals, except for the slide I got from eBay from 3CR Tactical. I heard a lot of good things from them. The trigger was really rough on it. Getting to the wall was pretty smooth. It was just getting past that. Like once I actually wanted to pull the trigger through the wall, felt like it was, I don't know, 7 or 8 pounds for that trigger. So I um I decided to try and do a 25-cent trigger job on it later after the range. That didn't turn out too well because I ended up launching the little safety plunger spring into another dimension. Spent about half hour looking for it, couldn't find it, and then ended up finding it shortly after that, after I decided to give up on it. But then I found out after that a safety plunger spring from a Glock 17 Gen 3 is basically the same size as a 43x safety plunger spring. So I swapped those out, and then as soon as I swapped them out, the spring was then found right next to me, and then I swapped them out back, or swapped them back out. So that was fun. That ate up most of my evening after getting home from work and from the range, and yeah, it wasn't ideal. And I even tested out the other spring that doesn't go with it, and it worked fine. It fit fine, held the extractor in, and then I ran some self-defense rounds through the gun, and they all ejected out once I worked the slide back with a full mag in. Didn't have any hiccups. I mean, I had one hiccup of a failure to feed, but it's because they're older self-defense rounds, and it's a new barrel, so I definitely have to break in that barrel for sure. My accuracy during this range trip was not great. I was able to get some shots where I wanted them to go, and then where I'm missing. I mean, clearly I'm outside of those outside of those objects, and I've only had the target up 10 feet out. I was just still trying to get used to that trigger. And definitely felt myself dipping quite a few times and going low left. I mean, you guys can obviously see that. So it was rough. And then I think I'll still keep at trying, because I only did like half of the trigger job work I was supposed to do. I didn't even get to touch up on the safety plunger itself or the firing pin. There might be one more piece I'm thinking of I should have hit too. So once I polish those down a little bit, I'm only doing a Q-tip with some sort of metal polishing cream stuff or whatever. I don't even know the name of it. It starts with an M, but it's not the Mother's Magnolia or whatever it is that everybody else uses. They either use that or they use Flitz. I don't have either one of those. I went to auto parts store and got a big old bottle of something that's supposed to polish metal. So, I mean, I could have bought the wrong stuff, but I don't see how I could have. It's all metal polishing. So, I'm going to spend a couple days kind of working that out, polishing here and there. If I'm not making much progress with it, I think I might touch it up with a Dremel. I don't want to do that because I don't want to take too much off. But I guess worst case scenario, you can always just get more OEM parts and put them in. But some of those parts were just a little expensive. Parts kit in total, I think in total the build was about, I want to say $350. There's 50 for the frame, 100 for the lower parts kit. I bought all the upper parts kit kind of separately because I had a firing pin already, so I'd say it's about another 100 right there, and then about another 100 for. I got a good deal on eBay for the recoil spring and an OEM recoil spring and an OEM Glock 43x barrel, and then I spent $60 more on three used 43x magazines on eBay. So I mean, without the magazines, about $350. With the magazine, about $400 for this build. So far, it was reliable, feeding in some ball ammo, but I only shot maybe 75 rounds through it at the range. I had one hiccup feeding in self-defense rounds at home, but that's a little different because they were old, and I just need to break it in that barrel. But altogether, it shot fine. It shot well. SCT frame is pretty nice to handle. So that's how that build went. And then this little last part is just me shooting that bottom left pink target with my Glock 40, one-handed, trying to get used to that. It was kind of hard because the frame is just so big that getting your finger on the trigger is just a little difficult to actually get a proper trigger pull that I would want to get. So that's how my rage trip went today. Shot some 10, shot some 9. Yeah, that's about it. So hope you guys enjoyed.